Hello my scrappy friends and welcome back to my channel again today. Today's share is for Cut to You. If you've missed it, Gwen is celebrating her first year with Cut to You, and this is the fun July inspiration board we have to work with. To start with, I was inspired by the colours, the birthday feel and the butterflies, and this is the knot card that I created, and this is the card that I created. I will get into I will explain that in a little while, but first up I have a little tutorial for you. I've cut my cut file like 6 times, I think, and what I'm showing you here is how I have cut the inside pieces for the acetate and the backing piece for the shaker pocket. You can see, to start with, I zoomed right in and then I right-clicked and hit the remove compound path, which made it all into the individual pieces. Once that was done, I'm able to go back in and delete the pieces that I don't want to cut. So I've removed the lines, so when you cut the file you get the outline of the words like short and eat and cake. So I've removed that the inside line, so that I'm left with the outline. Once I've removed all the bits I don't want to cut, I have gone to do an internal offset, which means it's going to draw a line all the way around the cut file but on the inside. And then I've deleted the first file that was on the screen, and I've kept and cut the offset one. I hope that makes sense, but that's what I've done so that I don't have to try to cut the pieces to size myself. So I've got all my bits cut. I did cut the extra layers from offcuts from other projects, and then I've cut the top piece for my cut file on smooth white cardstock. I was inspired by the colours in the mood board, and so I pulled out 4 Distress Oxide stamp pads, and I've got what colours have I got? Worn Lipstick, Tattered Rose, Spun Sugar and Abandoned Coral. I've smooshed those onto my messy mat and smooshed my cut file into that. I dried each layer in between, and then I did some stamping. I did some stamping with the Abandoned Coral because that was the darkest colour I had there. And you can see here is all my layers together, including the acetate. And I discovered through trial and error that the easiest way to glue the bits was with spray adhesive. But the can that I had to start with was almost out. So you can see I have just sprayed all of those layers and stuck them together. Now, I wanted to make a shaker pocket, a shaker. So my intention was always to make a card with the colours on the mood board and add something for sequins, and I found these tiny gold stars in my stash, and I love them, and I put them in there, and you can see I'm just filling out the little letters as much as I can without overfilling them. And I love the way that this turns out. I really love the way that this turns out. What I'm going to do next is glue down my cut file. You can see that the backing piece, again, that smooth white cardstock, I ended up cutting that into pieces. There's my shaker, and I'm going to come on live with a bit of a story. Okay, so full disclosure here, this is my finished shaker pocket. I absolutely love how it turned out. Like, seriously, love how it turned out. My dilemma, because I have a dilemma, is that I was going to put this on a card. I really, truly was going to put it on a card. But the idea of someone possibly throwing it out kind of broke my heart a little bit. So what I'm doing with this one is, my birthday's at the end of this month. I may have jumped online and purchased this piece of paper in the 12x12 version so that I can create a birthday layout for myself using this as my background because look how cute that looks. And I mean, even as a card, that would be super cute. So what I'm going to do, I've already started the process. I have cut all of my layers again. Hang on one sec. Cut all my layers again. And instead of making a shaker, now this is obviously in different colours, but this one was really inspired by the mood board for this month. I'm going to put all this together and I'm going to make this one into a card. This one is going to be turned into a card, and it is going to someone for their birthday. So, yeah, full disclosure, I just couldn't bear to think that someone might throw it out. I'm so happy with how it turned out. But I'll make sure I leave photos at the end of this, and then I will drop into HQ after I've made my birthday layout and share the finished layout as well. So, enjoy the rest of my process. I'm still calling this inspired by the mood board. The theme of the mood board is birthday, and so I'm running with that. As you can see, I've cut the top layer in blue pattern paper, and I've got my other layers sitting there waiting, but I thought I would design my card front first. Pulled out this stamp set from Stampin' Up, and I'm going to stamp in, it's permanent ink, and it is Faded Jeans. Then I'm going to stamp these stars, and I think that's Spice Marmalade, I'm not sure, just right underneath the sentiment there. And I'm just stamping off on the background as well. I'm going to add some splatters. Again, I'm pretty sure this is Spiced Marmalade. Just trying to find where I wrote it down and I can't. I haven't written it down. So I've just watered that down, started to do some splatters, and it came out with the colour not saturated enough, so I've just added some more smushing to my messy mat there, and I'm just adding some more splatters, checking that's okay. And then I'm going to come in with some little splatters in the Faded Jeans Distress Oxide spray and a paintbrush. Pop that aside to dry. Okay, and I'm back live again. I'm not just here to make everyone, to make things that are difficult seem easy. I struggled big time. Look, I stuck these together, they weren't aligned, and I ended up, I cracked it, and I went and I purchased some spray adhesive, and you can see I have stuck 2 layers together so far, and I'm like, this is better. I feel like I'm winning again. So the instructions tell me for a temporary stick, spray 1 surface. For a permanent stick, spray 2 surfaces. Let it grow tacky and then adhere them together. So that's what I've done with these first 2 layers. So I'm not going to show you my whole process because it's not fun watching glue dry or watching me stick these together. But I just wanted to give you an update. The glue was driving me crazy. The worst thing about the Scotch Tacky is my favourite thing about the Scotch Tacky, which is that it dries super quick and you have no time to move things. So, go on with the spray adhesive, and I will keep in part of this process, but I will chop most of it out, and then I will come back and show you me assembling my card. Okay, so I'm spraying those 2, and then I'm going to come back and stick them together. Now, over the course of sticking a million of these little suckers together, I discovered that sticking down the life is to start with, and then going straight down the middle. So starting with the O, and then working my way out with the word short, and then that kind of made it a little bit easier. The beauty with this spray adhesive is it is tacky for longer, and I have more time to move things around. You can see that I can readjust, I can move it over a little bit, I can touch it and the glue doesn't get smudged off everywhere. So this was a much easier, more productive process. Making sure I'm happy with how that looks, and then I chose a colour for my card base, which goes well with the blue of the cut file. And I'm just going to trim my card front down so that I've got the blue border around that craft cardstock. I am using a gel pen to add a couple of squiggly lines, and I'm going to add some little squiggles to the four sides as well, just for a little bit of extra. Make my card base, and then I'm going to stick it all together. ATG to stick the card front to the card base, lots of ATG tape. And then I am going to use my tacky glue again to stick this down. Now you can see I pulled out my ruler. I want that sucker to be straight on this card. So you can see I've stuck that down. I dropped it to start with, so I got glue everywhere. I'm just using my cloth to clean that up. I dot my I, and then I'm like, oh, it needs a little bit of something else. So I pulled out my enamel dots, and I found these ones there's 3 shades of blue. I've got 2 circles, and so 2 different color blue circles, and then stars as well. And I'm pretty sure that finishes it up. Yeah, so there's a quick look at it, and I'm showing you the dimension there. Here is my pretend card, and a close-up of that. I love how that turned out. I cannot wait to get it onto a layout. It's so pretty, and the gold stars. And then here is my actual card that is going to someone as part of their birthday gift. So make sure you head over to HQ to share your take on this fun mood board. Make sure you head over for all the fun that's happening. I'll leave links in the description box below. If you have any questions, please make sure you leave them, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Otherwise, thank you for stopping by, and I will see you again very soon.